Day 13-1 of the year is here, and the atmosphere over the United States is starting to look downright dangerous. We are tracking a rapidly intensifying weather pattern that could bring violent storms, explosive wildfire conditions, and a brutal, expanding heat dome capable of shattering temperature records across huge portions of the country next week. The calm stretch is ending, and what's replacing it could become one of the wildest weather swings we've seen so far this year. But before we talk about the dangerous heat that's coming, we need to look back at the devastation that already unfolded just days ago. On May 6th, parts of Mississippi were torn apart by a major tornado outbreak. The National Weather Service has now confirmed at least 7 to 9 tornadoes, including 2 violent EF3 tornadoes with winds exceeding 137 miles per hour. These were not weak storms knocking over branches. Entire homes were ripped apart, communities were shredded, and lives were changed forever in a matter of minutes. The Storm Prediction Center received nearly 100 severe weather reports from this outbreak alone, including tornadoes, giant hail, and destructive winds. 6 particularly dangerous situation tornado warnings were issued, along with 4 tornado emergencies, the highest level of tornado alert possible. That tells you just how catastrophic this setup became. At least 20 people were injured, hundreds of homes were damaged, and many of the hardest-hit communities were small rural towns that often get overlooked after disasters like this. The damage may not dominate national headlines, but for the families living through it, everything changed overnight. And now, while severe storms temporarily ease in some areas, another dangerous threat is exploding across the northern plains. Eastern Montana and western North Dakota are entering an extremely dangerous fire weather setup. Powerful winds gusting over 45 miles per hour are crashing through the region, while humidity levels collapse near 15%. The grass and vegetation are so dry that meteorologists are calling this one of the most volatile fuel setups in years. One spark could trigger disaster. And what makes this even more alarming is the possibility of dry thunderstorms developing over the region. These storms may produce little to no rainfall, but they could unleash dangerous lightning strikes and chaotic 60-mile-per-hour outflow winds capable of igniting and rapidly spreading wildfires in every direction. This is the kind of setup where a single cigarette tossed from a car window could ignite an entire field, or worse, a neighborhood. But while some regions face fire danger, others are about to experience one of the most beautiful weather days of the year before chaos returns. Areas near St. Louis, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, and Springfield, Missouri are expected to see near-perfect spring weather on Thursday. Crisp morning temperatures in the 40s, sunshine, low humidity, and highs near 75 to 80 degrees will create a rare, perfect weather window across the Midwest. Enjoy it while it lasts, because by Saturday, the atmosphere is expected to wake back up violently. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a severe weather risk from central Oklahoma into southern Kansas, including areas near Oklahoma City, Wichita, and Lawton. And confidence is growing that this could evolve into a significant severe weather event during the peak heating hours Saturday afternoon and evening. A classic plains outbreak setup is beginning to take shape. Deep Gulf moisture is expected to surge northward while powerful southwest winds in the upper atmosphere overspread the region. At the same time, energy ejecting out of the Rockies will collide with this unstable air mass, potentially triggering explosive supercell thunderstorms across the southern plains. Large hail capable of smashing roofs and windows appear likely. Damaging winds strong enough to knock out power and tear apart trees are also becoming increasingly possible. And while it's still too early to pinpoint exact tornado zones, isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Even the Dallas-Fort Worth area may need to watch the setup carefully in case the risk zone shifts farther south over the coming days. And this may only be the beginning, because looming behind these storms is an enormous and potentially dangerous heat dome that is preparing to spread eastward across the United States. Forecast models continue to show intense summer-like heat building from the southwest into Texas, Oklahoma, and eventually much of the Mississippi Valley and eastern United States next week. Temperatures near or above 100 degrees could erupt across parts of Texas and Oklahoma by early next week, before the heat spreads toward the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and Carolinas. Some cities could experience their hottest temperatures of the year so far, and overnight temperatures may stay dangerously warm as well, offering little relief after sunset. This is the kind of atmospheric shift that can make it feel like the country skipped spring entirely and plunged straight into the peak of summer. Air conditioners are about to start working overtime. And with extreme heat building over the south and east while severe storms continue firing along the edges of the heat dome, the overall pattern across the United States is becoming increasingly volatile heading deeper into May. The atmosphere is changing fast, and the next several days could become extremely active.